Psychedelic-inspired medicines have robust therapeutic potential and will likely reshape modern medicine as we know it. Psychedelics are beginning to follow in marijuana's explosive footsteps, and it's helping the world to forget bad politics and embrace good science. Studies show that psychedelic-inspired medicines significantly help with smoking cessation, reducing alcohol dependence, and treating anxiety and depression. Now, with the academic research coming to an indisputable conclusion and mental health awareness on the rise, the legal landscape is starting to peel back antiquated laws that were put in place 50 years ago. Let's dive in. Here's why you should buy psychedelic stocks as the shroom boom takes off. Welcome to Timely Investment Research. Remember when marijuana used to be taboo? Back in 1970, President Richard Nixon passed the Controlled Substances Act as part of his war on drugs. In it, marijuana was labeled a Schedule I drug, an extremely dangerous, extremely illegal substance with no accepted medical use. But a lot has changed since then. Last year, the global legal marijuana market topped $20 billion, growing nearly 50% over the year before. And the long-term compound annual growth rate is consistently forecasted in the double-digit range. What's going on here? The truth is emerging. This has happened many times over the past few millennia. Thanks to the work of the brilliant and bold, scientific research has fueled several major paradigm shifts, helping society to accept new truths. Copernicus and Galileo helped us to understand that our solar system is heliocentric, central to the sun, not geocentric, central to the earth. Darwin spent his life proving his theory of evolution, and thanks to Newton and Einstein, humans have a much clearer grasp on physics and quantum mechanics. Indeed, we are constantly learning more about the world around us and adapting our views to incorporate these new revelations. Our view on marijuana has evolved in the same way. When science discovered marijuana's therapeutic benefits, the world forgot the bad politics of the 1960s to adopt the good science of the 2000s. Marijuana became broadly legalized and the marijuana market boomed. If you missed out on investing early in the marijuana boom, don't worry. Because right now, another Schedule I drug is beginning to follow in marijuana's explosive footsteps. And it's helping the world to forget bad politics and embrace good science. What am I talking about? Psychedelics. Turn and face the strange changes. Magic mushrooms, LSD, MDMA, DMT. For years, society has frowned upon psychedelics, viewing them as hard drugs to be avoided. But things weren't always like that. Back in the 1950s, Humphrey Osmond led a group of pioneering psychiatrists in an extensive study of psychedelics. And from that research, they found that these hallucinogenic drugs had immense therapeutic potential. And what the academic world continued to uncover was stunning. A pair of Johns Hopkins studies have found that the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, something called psilocybin, can significantly help with smoking cessation and reducing alcohol dependence. An even more recent Johns Hopkins study published in 2020 found that psilocybin can relieve anxiety and depression levels in people with life-threatening cancer diagnoses 4 times better than traditional antidepressants on the market. Additionally, in a follow-up study of those participants, the researchers report that the substantial antidepressant effects of psilocybin-assisted therapy, given with supportive psychotherapy, may last at least a year for some patients. That finding corroborates a previous NYU study, which found that psilocybin causes a rapid and sustained reduction in anxiety and depression levels in cancer patients. Meanwhile, a recent UC Davis study found that psychedelic microdosing can produce beneficial behavioral effects in patients with mental health disorders. And an Imperial College London study found that psilocybin is better and faster at treating depression than Lexapro, a leading antidepressant treatment today. The list of academic studies goes on and on. They are all coming to the same conclusion. Psychedelic-inspired medicines, particularly psilocybin, have robust therapeutic potential. Psychedelics, the future of medicine. Now, with the academic research coming to an indisputable conclusion and mental health awareness on the rise, the legal landscape is starting to peel back antiquated laws that were put in place 50 years ago. Back in 2021, Seattle City Council voted unanimously to relax its rules against naturally occurring drugs. And in May of 2022, the governor of Connecticut signed legislation involving the use of psychedelics. While it didn't legalize them, it allowed provisions to establish psychedelic treatment centers in the state, where people can receive psilocybin-assisted or MDMA-assisted therapy as part of an expanded access program for investigational new drugs through the Federal Food and Drug Administration, FDA. Oregon and Washington, D.C. have decriminalized possession of psychedelics. California is looking to do the same, as are Michigan, Vermont, and even Canada. The sands are shifting. The shroom boom is coming. This is great news for humanity. It means that mental health issues, which hundreds of millions around the world suffer from, could become a thing of the past. No more depression, addiction, or post-traumatic stress disorder. But this is also great news for you as an investor. The final word. In creating a superior treatment for mental health disorders, the Shroom boom will give birth to a multi-hundred-billion-dollar industry. And you can get in on the ground floor of this investment megatrend by buying the right psychedelic stocks today. This industry has the legs to become the premier mental health care. No more anxiety, depression, or addiction. Can you imagine the potential? Your next big stock market winner is likely hiding among the first movers working to create the psychedelic-inspired medicines of tomorrow. Thanks for spending some time with us today, Timely Investment Research. We're so glad you did. If you found value in today's video, please give us a like, hit that bell icon to never miss an upload, and hey, don't forget to subscribe.